Well, it's just gone 10 past 12 on the 7th of July 2019. Back at Whiteacres on Pat's Pool for another week-long session. I've been fishing for around about an hour. I really took my time thinking about getting the, or where I was going to put the second rod, I should say. I've got one down this margin here. Reason being is I saw fish ripping the bottom up when I arrived, so I thought I was in for a quick fish. Had a few liners, but that little gap over there near the island just looked too tempting. So I've tied myself a solid bag up, packed full of scopex squid, stick mix and chops, and a nice washed out citrus pop up 15mm. Literally been in there 5 minutes and the rod's ripped off, and I've gone and bagged myself a lovely mirror. So it's quite a warm day. I ain't gonna mess about. Gonna get everything sorted and hopefully get it on film for you folks. So great start to the week. Well, I haven't weighed it, but I'd estimate this fish is around about 16-17 pound. But who cares when they look like this? Hopefully you can just about see that. Apple slice perfection. Citrus pop up on a little Ronnie rig in a solid bag over scopex squid. Awesome. Okay then, I'm going to try and get myself sorted. You can see the Newquay mat there drying, and the refresh bucket came in very handy. So yeah, I was hoping to kick-start my blog in the normal manner, but yeah, when I arrived at the lake this morning around about 10:30, to the left here from where I'm fishing, this spot under this tree, there was fizzing clouds appearing where they've disturbed the clay. It just looked really good for a quick bite, so I crumbed up a few chops, a bit of hemp seed, and I flicked a multi rig on it, and I sat behind the rod for around about an hour because I was expecting a quick bite. So I eventually got my second rod sorted, and I, as I previously mentioned in one of the opening sections of this blog, a solid bag with a little Ronnie rig on it, citrus pop up with some stick mix and chops, scopex squid, and within minutes the rod's rattled off, and I've gone and bagged myself, which I didn't weigh, a lovely scaly mirror around about 15-16 pounds, so great start and well chuffed. So yeah, back in Newquay at Whiteacres for another week, and we're back on Pat's Pool. And if you've watched some of my previous videos which I've done in this venue, you'll notice a big change. Earlier this year this lake was drained and the digger got in here and it took all the silt out, removed all the pads, and we've been left with this fantastic looking lake. It really is more beautiful than I think it's ever looked. Arrived in Newquay yesterday around about 11:15, and it was really warm yesterday. On the dashboard of the Carp it's saying around about 23-24 degrees, and the forecast is looking the same for the duration of the week. So not really ideal fishing conditions, I must be honest, but yeah, the old rule book was rewritten this morning, and I've gone and bagged that fish quite early in the session. So I'm planning to do late morning into into dusk sessions. Got no night fishing planned. I'm going to go back and use the facilities and the club and what have you, and yeah, have a bit of a jolly up with my dad and his friend, as well as try and catch a few carp. So yeah, we're approaching around about 1 o'clockish now, and yeah, it was overcast this morning. It was quite favourable conditions, but those clouds are parted now and the sun's peeked through, and yeah, we've got another warm afternoon in store. But nonetheless, it's just an absolute pleasure to be here. I've hardly done any fishing this year, what with my work commitments, angling, directing, Alzoing, and yeah, bits and bobs with the family. So believe it or not, this is my first session since February this year, which is yeah, nothing short but disgusting for me really, but yeah, sometimes other things get in the way and you've just got to do what you've got to do. But yeah, I'm going to stop waffling on, because as I look over my shoulder I've got a mooring who's scoffing me stick mix, so I need to go and sort him out. But yeah, it's a pleasure to be here, and hopefully there'll be a few more carp on camera throughout the week. Well, just stopped at the first bite calf on my way back to the caravan after day one. I'm a bit out of breath, still quite muggy and humid. So yeah, got down to the lake about 10:30, 10:45, and yeah, as I mentioned in the opening piece of this blog, got the left hand rod out, yeah, down the margin. Just looked really good for a bite, and the carp was certainly in there ripping up the bottom. Loads of commotion and fizzing, and all the clay bottom was disturbed, so I dropped a rod on it and I literally sat behind it waiting for it to rip off at any moment for the first hour, and it never happened. So I decided to make up my second rod, and I got that out on the island in a little gap, solid bag, little washed out 15mm citrus pop up on a Ronnie rig, some crumbed up chops, stick mix, bit of liquid, and yeah, virtually that rod was ripped out of my hand. And that was the only bite of the day, the only bit of action. Not a massive fish by any standards, but really welcome, nice scaly one, and yeah, got me off the mark. So I'm going to get my bearings together, take some deep breaths, go back up the caravan, crack open a bottle of Stella. Yeah, we're on holiday after all. Right then, see you in the morning to do it all again. Well, bit of an update on Monday, day 2 of the session. We're getting on for around about, I would say, 2 o'clock now, on another very hot day here in Newquay Cornwall. In this shot you can see I've split the rods up, so I'm back in the same swim, and I've got the left hand rod back on that spot on the island on a solid bag, and the right hand rod is presenting a little zig, and I mean little because there's virtually no water out there, probably about a 18-inch zig, and around about 20 minutes ago I've had 2 bleeps and an almighty 1 toner. Pulled into it, and what felt a decent fish. Probably had it on for about 3 or 4 minutes, and then bang, the tips flung back, and all I can say is I've been cut. There's 1 or 2 swan mussels in this lake, and yeah, everything was going great, and bang, no fish. When retrieving the actual lead out of the water, my question was answered. I had half a mono hook link, so yeah, I found one of these. There's not many in here, but there's 1 or 2, and just my luck, I found one. So I've been cut and lost a fish. So what's going to be a challenging day with this heat, and finally getting a bite. The carp have got one up on me today, so there you go. But what can you do? So I've re-zigged back up. Incidentally, I'm using a little 12mm Scopex squid, yellow pop-up, and as a hair stop I'm using the fluoro maggot, which adds to the attraction, the colour and the buoyancy, and comes in as a bally stop. And I've glazed that in concentrated citrus bait soak. So we're back out on that little gap in the island there where I've been watching the fish cruise through it since the duration of the day. So yep, disappointing, but that's carp fishing. So fingers crossed we're going to get another chance. Incidentally, I've kept on priming that little spot down there near the overhanging tree with chopped scopex squid and a bit of hemp seed, so I'll keep my eye on that one. But yep, just sitting there licking my wounds, feeling disappointed, but as I said before, that's carp fishing, so fingers crossed we get another chance. Right then, I'm going to get back to watching, keeping everything crossed for another bite. Well, we've just gone up to 7 PM on Monday evening. Got me little rod out there for me margin spot, which I've been priming all day. Hoping that was going to produce another bite, but sadly, since that take around about midday today, the rest of the days has been basically spent sunbathing, and I've been watching the water like a hawk, and I'm pretty sure I'm the only angler that's experienced any action on what's been an extremely warm day. So I shall be packing up shortly. As I said yesterday, I'll be using the facilities on the site this year, so I've got plans to go to the club tonight and have a few jars, which will be very welcome indeed on what has been a really scorching hot day. And whilst I'm enjoying my liquid refreshment, I'm going to have a think about what I'm going to do tomorrow. Do I come back down to Pat's, or do we take a trip to Nelson's? Decisions. Right, I'm going to give it another 30 minutes. And if nothing else happens today, I'll see you tomorrow. Good morning. Just coming up to 11:30 on the third day of the session. And as I said before leaving last night, I was in two minds whether to go back to Pat's today. In the club last night, having a few drinks with my dad and his mates. They were telling me about Sycamore. I think there is one or two half decent fish in here, but there's a lot more stock in here, and there's quite a few scaly ones and ornamentals. And since I've been here, I've seen quite a few fish just coming down the marginal area, so just dropped my left hander down the edge on a snowman over a few chops, and the right hander is towards that island on a solid bag. Got another very warm day ahead, but it's quite shady where I'm fishing, so yeah, day 3 on Sycamore, so fingers crossed I'll see some action today. quick update as we're well into evening now. Look at this for a scaly little banger. God knows how many of these I've had today, but it's been really enjoyable fun. I've literally been fishing around about 4 foot from the bank, and yeah, I'm down to 1 rod. Been fishing scopex squid over a little fang gyro rig, and interchanging the colours, 10mm scopex squid, yellow pop-ups, and currently using some little 12mm pink strawberry crush. So yeah, sometimes it's not all about catching big fish, and I've really enjoyed it today. Good morning, it's just after 11 o'clock, and I couldn't resist another go on Sycamore after that really fun filled day yesterday. So yeah, it's just after 11 o'clock, so I'm going to stick it out to probably about 5-6 o'clock, and then I think I might pop over to Pollering and see if I can target something a bit bigger. But we're using just 1 rod in this swim, literally fishing at the end of the rod tip. Little fang gyro rig again, and some chopped scopex squid over the top. I've been here about 10 minutes and I've got carp in the swim already, so yeah, hopefully we can bag some more little scalies today. Well, morning, I don't know an exact time, 11:30ish, maybe midday. Back on Pats for what's day 5 now of the week-long session. To bring up to speed with yesterday, spent most of it on Sycamore again, and really enjoyed it. Got amongst quite a few scaly fish. Had one which was possibly double figures, didn't weigh any of them. Really enjoyed it, and then I popped up to Pollering on my way back and had an hour on there, and I managed to nick one out the margin. So yeah, the last couple of days have been quite productive. But we've got a rover match on the complex today, so the majority of the pleasure lakes are all closed until late afternoon, so we're back on Pat's Pool, and we've got a slight change in the weather. It's a lot cooler and there's quite a stiff breeze blowing. There's 1 or 2 dotted around the lake, and I'm in a brand new swim. We've never fished this swim before. So we've got 2 rods out, as you can see. My left-hander is tight to the margin over chopped scopex squid in a nice solid bag with a 10mm inside, and the right-hand rod is in between the gap of those 2 islands, and I've got myself a nice zig out there, and there's fish cruising in and out, and I can see one. I don't know if you can make it out, but I can see one just as we're talking on camera. So so yeah, I'm fishing till around about 6:30. I'm out tonight down Newquay for a meal with the lads, so looking forward to that. So I've got a good 6 and a bit hours to try and winkle a fish out today. So fingers crossed for some action. And as always, if there's anything to report, I'll do my best to update the blog for you all to see. So I'm going to sit back now, watch the water like a hawk as usual, and see what today brings. Well, into the final day of the session. It's just coming up to 1:30 Friday afternoon. I've literally just got myself settled because I've spent the morning on Erie Lake, which is behind me. Got amongst some more little scaly carp, all on solid bags, scopex squid. Every other fish though was popping around here and having a look. There's quite a few anglers that have pulled off now with the changeover day tomorrow, and yeah, I've got about 4 or 5 hours of fishing left now, so I couldn't resist another go in here, and I think you might have just heard one crash off the island. You might just be able to see the ripples there. So I've stuck my left-hander down the margin on a solid bag, scopex squid again over chops, and the right hander is on the island. Not that tight because it does shallow up there, so probably about half a rod length off the island. And I'm using a multi-rig to present a washed out pink citrus pop-up over scope squid. So this is my last roll of the dice. It's been a really hard week. The weather's played a part, but this lake has well and truly just shut off.